in the vast, swirling depths of the galaxy, where colossal warships carved streaks of fire through the void, and empires rose and fell like tides, Earth was a whisper, a quiet rock orbiting a modest star, unremarkable and overlooked. Among the grand halls of the Galactic Council and the war rooms of mighty alien factions, Earth was dismissed as a backwater unworthy of concern. They called humans fragile, unpredictable, and insignificant. But beneath this calm surface, something ancient stirred, from the depths of Earth's core to the bustling cities lit by neon and hope. Sensors hummed silently, scanning the blackness. Beyond the atmosphere, deep underground bunkers throb with hidden power, shield generators flicker in readiness, and fleets of sleek, unassuming ships wait cloaked in stealth. Earth's defenders hold their breath, not in fear, but in patient anticipation. High above, alien scouts silently infiltrate Earth's orbit. Their sleek vessels, bristling with weapons, reflect the cold light of distant stars. They have no idea what lies beneath, the legacy of centuries of hidden preparation, of stolen tech repurposed, of minds sharpened by survival instincts honed through millennia of human conflict. Admiral Thera, a tall, lithe being with iridescent scales shimmering under the command bridge's lights, watches Earth with a sneer. This primitive planet is ripe for conquest. They have no idea what's coming, she says, her voice cold and certain. Around her, officers murmur agreements. Their confidence as thick as the weapons lining their decks. But the humans watch too. Captain Maya Reese stands on Earth's orbital defense station, eyes locked on the blips creeping closer. Her voice crackles over comms, calm but firm. All units, prepare for engagement. We're not as defenseless as they think. In the silence that follows, tension coils like a spring, ready to snap. Suddenly, the first wave of alien ships swoops. Low energy cannons charging. But as their beams slice toward Earth, they meet an unexpected barrier and invisible shield ripples, like a sudden heat haze, absorbing the blasts and sending pulses of energy back toward the attackers. Explosions erupt in space, as drones launched from Earth's hidden bases dart forward. Striking with surgical precision, confusion ripples through the alien fleet. Shields. On a primitive world, Admiral Thera snarls, her confidence shaken, but far from broken. On Earth, underground command centers flood with data streams. Scientists and soldiers alike move in perfect synchrony. Advanced AI systems analyze enemy tactics in real time, feeding countermeasures to the fleet. Deploy the phalanx drones. Activate countermeasures, Delta and Echo. Captain recommands, her voice steady amid the chaos, as invisible waves disrupt alien communications. A fleet of hybrid mechs, part machine, part biologically, emerges from hidden bays beneath the planet's surface. Their movements are fluid and precise, blending human ingenuity with technology scavenged from older conflicts. Back on the alien flagship, alarms scream. The invaders realize the battle will not be the swift victory they anticipated. Prepare for retreat. No, Thera roars. We underestimated them. That will be our last mistake. Far below, Earth's surface remains deceptively serene. The bustling cities continue their rhythms, unaware of the invisible war raging above. But, for those who know, every heartbeat echoes with the promise of what's to come. The void above Earth was no longer silent. Alien warships, once confident and massive, now drifted like wounded beasts, their hulls scarred and systems flickering erratically. The first strike had shattered their illusion of weakness, was no easy conquest. Captain Maya Reese stood in the command center of the orbital defense station, eyes fixed on the holomap pulsing with red blips the remaining enemy ships. She felt the weight of every life below, every innocent caught in the crossfire. Yet there was no fear, only fierce determination. The invaders were relentless. They pressed forward, hoping to overwhelm Earth's defenses with sheer numbers. But Humanity had learned the art of silent war. Invisible to sensors, small squadrons of human stealth fighters slipped through asteroid fields, weaving shadows in the darkness. Their engines hummed softly, barely a whisper against the cosmic background noise. Each pilot was a ghost, a hunter in the night, trained to strike without warning and vanish before the enemy could react. Lieutenant Jamal Ortiz gripped his controls tightly, adrenaline sharpening his senses. Ahead, a heavily armed alien cruiser gleamed under distant starlight, a behemoth too slow to dodge the incoming storm. Jamal's squadron split silently, encircling the target like wolves closing in on prey. Suddenly, the alien cruiser's sensors flared to life, but it was too late. Jamal unleashed a swarm of micromissiles, each programmed to seek out critical weak points. Explosions blossomed across the alien hull like deadly fireworks. Alarms screamed. Crew members scrambled in chaos. But the cruiser's shields faltered and then collapsed. From the flagship bridge, Admiral Thera slammed her fist against the console. They're ghosts. How are they everywhere at once? Back on Earth, in a subterranean command center, bathed in cold blue light, the answer was clear. Human engineers had spent years perfecting electronic warfare tactics, jamming enemy sensors, hacking their networks, turning their own weapons against them. Yet the most terrifying weapon was human resolve. Across battle-scarred skies, hybrid mechs stormed forward from hidden bases. Their towering forms moved with uncanny speed and agility. These were no mere machines, they were extensions of their pilots' minds, fused with alien tech and human grit. In one fierce engagement, a mech piloted by Captain Ree herself locked eyes with an alien warlord's assault unit. Laser beams streaked, metal screeched, and the very ground beneath trembled. The warlord sneered, convinced his superior size and firepower would crush the human. But Captain Ree's mech darted in a blur, striking precise blows to exposed joints. With a thunderous roar, the warlord's machine collapsed into a crater of twisted metal. Yet victory was costly. Communications flickered, and reports came, in cities damaged, civilians injured, hope stretched thin. But humanity's spirit was unbroken. In the alien fleet, panic spread like wildfire. Ships that had once sneered at Earth's defenses now retreated in fractured formations, their commanders whispering of unseen forces and cunning enemies. "Recall the squadrons," Admiral Thera barked, voice tight with fury. "This is no longer a battle, it is a trap." But retreat was only the beginning. Earth's defense systems pulsed with new energy, their silent hum a promise etched in steel and fire. The hunter had become the hunted. The night sky above Earth flickered with the faint glow of distant stars. But beneath that serene canvas, a storm of technology and willpower was about to be unleashed. No enemy had ever imagined. Captain Maya Ree stood silently in the cavernous command chamber deep below Earth's surface. The walls pulsed with faint blue light, revealing banks of consoles, blinking holograms, and armored soldiers preparing for what was to come. Around her, engineers hurried, their faces set with grim determination. This was the heart of Earth's true defense, a hidden arsenal born from desperation, genius, and secrets stolen from the stars. The galaxy believed humans were primitive, that Earth's technology could not match theirs. They thought wrong. In a remote underground factory, giant hybrid mechs machines, part organic, part cybernetic, powered up. Their joints hissed as fluid hydraulics flowed through veins of reinforced alloys. These were not just weapons. They were human ingenuity incarnate, designed to outthink, outmaneuver, and outlast. Dr. Lian Cheng, chief engineer, adjusted her visor, eyes reflecting the flicker of blue plasma cores. "We've integrated the Vakari stealth tech," she said, referring to an alien race known for near-invisibility technology, and enhanced it with human adaptive AI. "They won't see these coming until it's too late." Captain Ree nodded, the weight of responsibility heavy on her shoulders. Then let's remind them why Earth never surrendered. Outside, silent transports ferried elite units cloaked in adaptive camouflage through thick forests and mountainous terrain. The enemy believed Earth's battle was confined to orbit, unaware that the true war was being waged on the ground and underground. Suddenly, alerts blared across the command center. Sensors detected an incoming strike force attempting to breach Earth's northern defenses. Ree's voice cut through the tension. Deploy the Nightshade squads. Engage on my mark. In the shadowed forests, Nightshade operatives melted into the darkness. Their weapons pulsed with bioelectric charges, their movements a deadly ballet of silence and precision. As the alien assault force marched forward, the ground erupted beneath them, explosions, igniting traps camouflaged beneath leaves and rock. Panic spread among the invaders. They scrambled to regroup, but the Nightshade units were already upon them, ghosts in the night, striking vital systems, disrupting communications, and disappearing before reinforcements could arrive. Above ground, Earth's orbital fleet launched precision strikes against the enemy's retreat paths, squeezing them like a tightening noose. Back in the command chamber, we watched the battle unfold through streaming holograms. They think they can break us with brute force. They don't know what waits beneath. A young technician approached, voice tense. Captain, the enemy is attempting to jam our satellite links. If they succeed, we lose real-time coordination. Ree's eyes hardened. Activate the counterpulse array. It's time to remind them who controls this fight. From deep within the planet, massive arrays of energy weapons powered up, sending piercing bursts into the void, disrupting enemy communications and blinding their sensors. Alien ships faltered, their attack faltering amid sudden chaos. In the final moments of the battle, a massive hybrid mech, piloted by Ori herself, stepped into the fray. Its armor shimmered as it charged, an unstoppable force moving with the precision of a predator across the battlefield. Alien commanders watched helplessly as their forces crumbled beneath a war they never saw coming. The galaxy had been warned. Humans were no longer prey. They were hunters, armed with secrets and an unbreakable will. In the vast silence of space, trust was a fragile currency. Among the invading armada, cracks had begun to splinter the once united front. Admiral Thera paced the bridge of her flagship, eyes burning with fury. The unexpected resilience of Earth had shattered her confidence and, worse, sown seeds of doubt within her own ranks. Whispers of dissent echoed through the corridors like poison. Commander Vecker, what news from the outer fleets? Thera demanded, voice sharp. The hulking Vakari officer stepped forward, tension etched into his scaled features. Several factions question the wisdom of continuing this campaign, Admiral. Some see Earth's defense as a warning, not just a nuisance. They fear we are overreaching. Thera's jaw clenched. Cowards. If we break now, everything we've built collapses. But deep in the shadows of the fleet, a secret meeting convened. Alien delegates from disparate worlds huddled, faces grim under dim lights. They had grown wary not of Earth, but of the endless war and the price it demanded. Ambassador Cathar, a slender insectoid with multifaceted eyes glinting coldly, spoke in hushed tones. We must reconsider. Our resources dwindle, and this war drains our people. Earth fights not just with weapons, but with cunning we cannot match. A murmur of agreement swept the room. Plans of defection and negotiation stirred like embers ready to ignite. Meanwhile, far below, on Earth's command center, Captain Maya remonitored the turmoil. Her tactical screens flickered with intercepted transmissions. Betrayal in motion. We have allies among their ranks, she said quietly, eyes narrowing. We can turn this to our advantage. Suddenly, a transmission cut through the static, a secret message, encoded with alien symbols. Ree's fingers danced over the console, decrypting the words. An invitation for parley from the dissenting factions. Is this a trap? Her second-in-command asked. Ree's voice was steady. It's a risk. But sometimes, The sharpest blade is forged from betrayal. Under cover of darkness, Earth's stealth ships slipped through enemy lines, rendezvousing with alien defectors in an uncharted asteroid field. The meeting was tense, silent words exchanged. Glances weighed like weapons. Alien representatives shared critical intelligence, vulnerabilities in the Armada supply routes, cracks in their command structure, and a growing fear that Earth was more than a planet. It was a symbol. Back aboard the flagship, Admiral Theras' fury boiled. News of the defection hit like a storm. "Hunt them down," she ordered, voice laced with venom. "No one betrays the Armada and lives." In the cold void of space, battles erupted, not just between humans and aliens, but among the invaders themselves. Fleets turned on one another in lightning-fast skirmishes, lasers cutting through the black like angry comets. On Earth, Captain Ree watched with grim satisfaction. "Their unity is their weakness," she murmured, but the stakes were higher than ever. Each betrayal fueled the fire of war, and every alliance forged in shadows was a gamble on the edge of a knife. The galaxy's eye was fixed on Earth, expecting fear, desperation, maybe even surrender. Instead, it saw something else: calculated precision, ruthless strategy, and a fury that burned brighter than any star. Captain Maya Ree stood aboard the command deck of the stealth flagship Shadowhawk, her gaze cold as the void. Tonight was not about defense, it was about sending a message. Humanity would not wait for the invaders to come. They would hunt them where they were weakest. Deep in the bowels of the ship, engines hummed quietly as Shadowhawk slipped through an asteroid belt, its cloaking field shimmering and fading with every twist of space debris. Around her, elite pilots readied their strikes, silent killers, armed with the latest tech, stolen and reinvented from the enemy itself. Target locked. Supply convoy. Alphanine, Ree's tactical officer whispered. The convoy was a lifeline. For the alien war machine, destroy it, and chaos would follow. Outside, the stars blurred past as the stealth squadron burst forward like phantoms. Their missiles streaked through the void, invisible to enemy sensors, until impact. Explosions blossomed in cold silence, starships shredded, cargo containers ruptured, and fuel cells ignited in a deadly chain reaction. Chaos rippled through the alien fleet. Communications were flooded with urgent calls. Supply line compromised. "We're under attack." The enemy struggled to regroup, but every move was anticipated. Back on the command deck, Maya's lips curved into a grim smile. "They think they can isolate Earth. Now, we'll show them how vulnerable they really are." Her mech pilots struck next, dropping from orbit to planetary strike zones. The towering machines moved like phantoms through ruined cities, smashing enemy reinforcements before they could regroup. Human troops, armed with adaptive camouflage and cutting-edge weapons, seized key facilities, communication hubs, weapon depots, and power grids. In the distance, massive explosions lit the night, painting the sky with fire and smoke. Yet the enemy was not defeated. Desperation drove them to unleash their deadliest weapon, a black ops squadron trained to infiltrate and sabotage Earth's hidden bases. Their presence was ghost-like, their strikes swift and brutal. Maya's cum crackled with tension. Unknown contacts detected near underground bunkers. Initiate emergency lockdowns. The war turned into a deadly game of cat and mouse beneath the surface. Earth's defenders fought tooth and nail, every corridor and tunnel a battlefield of shadows. In the command center, a young tech specialist shouted over the alarms. "Commander, the invaders are trying to hack our neural links. They're targeting the AI cores." Maya's eyes narrowed. "Deploy countermeasures Delta. Isolate the cores at once." Outside, robotic sentries awakened, laser eyes glowing red. The battle was far from over, but humanity's offensive had changed everything. The hunters were now the hunted. The Galactic Alliance, shaken and fearful, realized Earth was no longer a target to be crushed, but a force to be reckoned with. The battle was no longer just above Earth or on its surface. It had crept inside, into the minds and hearts of those who fought. Captain Maya Rhee sat alone in the dim glow of the command center's war room, her gaze locked on the holographic battlefield. Around her, the hum of machines and the faint crackle of distant gunfire filled the silence. Victory had come at a price. The alien invaders were fracturing, but Earth's defenders were worn thin. A warning flashed across the screen, a cybernetic breach within the AI core, managing Earth's defenses. Sabotage, whispered Lieutenant Jamal Ortiz, entering the room. His usually calm demeanor was shattered. They've managed to inject a virus into our systems. If it spreads, it could cripple everything. Maya's jaw tightened. Who? How? Jamal shook his head. We don't know yet, but it's sophisticated, beyond anything we've seen. Someone with inside knowledge. Doubt gnawed at Maya. Could there be a traitor among them? A spy feeding the enemy's shadows? Meanwhile, deep in the alien fleet, Admiral Thera paced the halls of her flagship, her confidence now tempered with paranoia. The fractures in her alliance had turned into chasms. Rebel factions were sabotaging her efforts. Spies infiltrated their ranks, and every message carried the scent of betrayal. The human's resilience is unnerving, she admitted bitterly to her closest advisors. But this internal collapse, it will be our advantage. We strike here, and we break them. Back on Earth, the virus pulsed through circuits like a living thing, twisting data, turning defenses against their own people. Power flickered across the planet's shield arrays, and automated turrets shut down mid-battle in the underground tunnels. Human soldiers fought desperately against surprise ambushes, unable to trust their once impenetrable network. Maya called an emergency meeting. We need to find the source of this virus. If we don't, the entire defense system could fall. As suspicions mounted, alliances fractured, fingers pointed, trust shattered. The enemy wasn't just outside the gates, it was inside. But even in darkness, a spark of hope, glimmer. Ed. Jamal, working through the night, discovered an encrypted transmission hidden deep in the virus code, a signal from the alien defectors, who had pledged allegiance to Earth. It's a trap, warned Rhee, or a lifeline. With time running out, Maya made a choice. She would risk everything and follow the signal, hoping it would lead to salvation, not destruction. Outside, the alien fleets massed for a final strike, but this time, Earth was ready to fight, not just with weapons, but with cunning and the will to survive against every shadow that threatened to consume them. The air was thick with tension as the alien fleet loomed like a dark cloud on the horizon. Earth's defenders braced for the storm they knew was coming. The final assault meant to crush humanity's spirit once and for all. Captain Maya Rhee stood at the edge of the command center, eyes burning with fierce resolve. Every sensor, every weapon system, was locked onto the approaching threat. But beneath the steel calm lay a storm of doubts and fears, a war fought not only with weapons, but with the fragile threads of trust. Beside her, Lieutenant Jamal Ortiz worked furiously, fingers flying over the console. The virus is spreading faster than we anticipated. If we don't isolate the core in the next 10 minutes, our defenses will collapse. Maya's voice was steady, but her heart raced. Then we cut the network. Total lockdown. We sacrifice control, but we keep the core safe. Jamal hesitated. That means losing communication between units. They'll be isolated, better isolated than destroyed, Maya interrupted. It's our only chance. Outside, the first wave of alien bombers streaked across the sky, trailing fire like deadly comets. Earth's orbital guns roared to life, pounding the attackers with relentless fury. Explosions blossomed, shaking the atmosphere, but more ships kept coming in. Endless tide. On the ground, human mechs thundered forward, clashing with the invaders in a brutal ballet of metal and fire. Sparks flew as laser swords met alien blades. Engines screamed through ruined cities and shattered landscapes. Yet the greatest battle was inside. The race to purge the virus from Earth's neural network before it tore their defenses apart. Jamal's fingers trembled as he initiated the lockdown. Alarms blared, consoles flickered, and the network fragmented into isolated shards. Communication channels died one by one. Isolation complete, Jamal reported, voice heavy with exhaustion. Now we purge. Maya's eyes locked on the holographic map, tracing every movement, every vulnerable point. We fight blind, but we fight together. As the alien flagship broke through the outer defenses, Maya sent her last message to the scattered units. Hold the line. For Earth. For humanity. In the flagship's bridge, Admiral Thera's face, twisted with fury. Crush them. Leave. No survivors. But as her forces advanced, the traitors within Stracalians, who had switched sides, sabotaging engines and turning weapons against their former comrades. Chaos erupted in the alien ranks as their own ships fired upon one another. The battle shattered into fragments of betrayal and desperate survival. Back on Earth, human fighters exploited the confusion, pushing the invaders back. Inch by bloody inch, in a desperate gamble, Maya led a strike team directly into the heart of the alien flagship's command core. Explosions rocked the corridors. Alarms screamed. But their mission was clear: destroy the command system and end the war. Inside the ship's core, Maya faced Admiral Thera in a final confrontation. Two warriors from different worlds locked in a deadly dance. Blades clashed, sparks flew, and the fate of countless lives hung on every strike. With a final, decisive blow, Maya shattered Thera's weapon and delivered the command that ended the battle. The alien fleet, leaderless and broken, retreated into the void. Silence settled over the battlefield like a heavy fog. The stars blinked coldly in the vast black, witnessing a war that had changed the galaxy forever. Captain Maya Ree stood on the scorched plains of Earth's northern front, her armor battered, her body aching, but her spirit unbroken. Around her, the last embers of battle smoldered, casting flickering shadows on the broken remains of alien war machines. The enemy had fled. Their once mighty armada, fractured and defeated, vanished into the void like ghosts chased from their own territory. But victory had a cost. Behind her, the injured were tended to, the lost mourned. Friends who had fought beside her were gone, their sacrifices etched into the soil beneath their feet. The air carried the weight of silence and hope. A holographic message blinked into existence beside Maya. It was from the alien defectors who had risked everything to side with Earth. Captain Ree, their leader, intoned, your courage and resolve have shifted the balance. But the galaxy remains a dangerous place. This victory is but the first step toward lasting peace. Maya's eyes flickered with determination. Then we'll be ready. We survived their worst. Now, we build a future stronger than any weapon. As Earth's people began to rebuild, news spread across the stars. Humanity was no longer the underdog. They were a force that demanded respect. Yet, in the quiet moments, Maya couldn't shake the feeling that the war had only just begun. Shadows lingered, alliances were fragile, and the galaxy's eyes were watching, waiting. The cost of survival was eternal vigilance in the command center. Maya looked out at the night sky, stars shimmering like distant promises. We warned them, she whispered. Underestimating humans was their last mistake, and this time, there would be no warnings left.